Hey guys, welcome to our podcast show. And on this week's podcast, we have Tony from Raijintek. Now, Tony, I've known you for many, many years, right?
Indeed,
all the
true,
way
yeah.
back 20 plus years ago. That's right.
That's a long time.
That is.
I think it was in the 2000s.
Yeah, early 2000s.
Yes.
So, yeah, so Tony have been in the tech industry for many, many years. What drives you? What gives you that drive? And,
I'm
tell us.
asking myself sometimes, to be honest. As a matter of fact, I'm a techie. I'm a nerd
Yeah.
for technology, so I think that's my drive, to be honest.
Yeah. So, Stephen, have you got any questions for Tony here?
Yeah, tell me your deepest, darkest secret in the case industry.
He's got a lot of stories.
I'll have to kill you then.
I think this story is worth dying for, so go ahead.
No, I mean, deepest, darkest secret.
How about something close to the surface that won't get anyone killed?
Well, Tony, you've actually designed or made up some formats and platforms which are like industry standard now these days, right? Tell us more about that.
We invented actually back in the days with my former company, Xigmatek, the HDD technology.
All right. Okay.
Which was a good cost-down version of a lot of coolers. Nowadays, you can see it with VGA, CPU cooling, with all different kind of applications, to be honest, yes.
Oh, wow. So
That's one of them, at least.
you're one of those early innovators. Yeah.
If you want to call it like that, yes. Okay.
All right. So, Tony, you've been to COMPUTEX many, many years.
Yeah.
How have you seen COMPUTEX change over the years? Is it gone worse, gone better? What's going on after the pandemic? Any thoughts on that?
We had kind of big peak before the pandemic. And now I hope it's picking up again. But at the moment, it is, you see a declination. Actually, it's declining a lot. Yes,
Yeah.
indeed, yeah.
Yeah. So again, this is the first time we've been back for 3 years or 4 years. I noticed, that lots of things have changed, especially now with computers, and there's a trend with all the viral videos, streams, and reels, and that kind of stuff. And reviewing hardware is kind of like declined a little bit. But do you see that trend going forward, doing more social media stuff? Do you think?
I think so. I think the older audience keeps sticking with the reviewing part, like reading the articles. And the youngsters coming into the tech spot now, they're going for all this social media, video logs, whatever you want to call it, reels and all this.
That's right. Oh, well, Stephen knows about that because he's a social media kind of.
I have gotten money, Like even I don't look like a beautiful model or anything like that.
Come on, you're doing good. You're doing good.
But dude, I've been paid by a tire company to promote winter tires, and they gave me some money, which was actually not a bad amount of money considering this.
Come on.
But all they wanted is someone that's a father, that's worried about his children, that wants to have the best tires on their car, that can tell a story in 4 stories on Instagram, and they gave me some tires too.
Yeah.
So
Good.
It's
good
all-
deal.
yeah.
It's very important to
Good deal.
It saves people's lives if they change out the tires, because we're in Canada.
You need
it gets
the
very slippery, right?
winter tires,
True.
yeah.
So and if they don't do that causes accident. That one car crashing into another car means other cars will have the same accident, and everyone has a bad day.
Yeah.
You're a
Right.
good salesman, I can see.
Get
He
winter
is.
tires.
And this is all about stories, who you are, what you do, and this is how it is. Because if you look at Facebook, first thing you see is stories, right? Instagram are stories, and we want to know about the story of you, right? we know earlier that you got into computers. We're techies, right? But what other interests you have? Tell us what else you do in your spare time.
We're staring you down right
spare
now.
time.
How do you relax?
Do you relax?
Actually not. To be honest, not really. I relax by going to massage here in Taiwan.
Okay, I feel that. Yeah, totally.
You ever had one?
Yeah, it's
What kind of?
fantastic. I like the foot, but also the hybrid, the 2 of them. So they go like feet first, and then they go they try to break you, and that's the most actually relaxing, because I break him by falling asleep, and he's like, "Oh, this guy, so."
I've seen people fall asleep when they're doing the huge massage with the arms and elbows and things like that.
I fall asleep.
You fall asleep.
I fall asleep.
What about you, Tony? Do you fall asleep?
Sometimes,
Yeah.
especially after the jet lag. Yes, I do.
Yeah, jet lag. Yeah, definitely.
After the jet lag, it happens to me a couple of times just recently.
Yeah. Well, because as we get older, we need to look after our bodies. But the youngsters these days, they just bounce up the walls, right?
Yes.
I think we were the same, to be honest.
Where were you?
I mean,
Yeah.
20 years ago, it was no problem. Doing the show for 7 days, 8 days, 9 days, maybe even 10 days back in the days with CBIT. But then once in a while, you just said it. When we turn older, you need to take care of your body. You need to stay hydrated. You need to watch your bones.
Eat the salads.
Yes.
Because Stephen here started recently to do running, so he's
That was a bad idea at first, but my knees healed thanks to Taiwan and all of the humidity. My knee feels great now, and I think I will go back to running because it was killing me when I was in Canada because it's cold, but the warm weather,
I feel
fixed it.
I completely
Fixed
feel
everything. It's fantastic. But yeah, exercise definitely important. But also all these gadgets you get to buy because you're exercising. You look like an athlete.
Heart monitor, blood pressure, all that kind of stuff. So Tony,
things you actually don't want to know.
Yes. No.
it's
Bad news every day.
Personal health information. Hey, so you actually live in Germany, right?
Yes.
Which part of Germany?
The south part. I'm living like half an hour away from Munich.
Oh, Munich. Okay. Because I've only been to Germany, Hamburg, because of the CB back in the day.
True.
And
That was Hanover.
Oh, Hanover.
Hanover.
And I've been to Düsseldorf because I flew to Düsseldorf to go into
Gamescom? That's Cologne.
Cologne.
I've been to Cologne.
I haven't been to Cologne, but Düsseldorf. I flew into Düsseldorf to go into another competitor's office across the border.
Oh, it's fine, no problem.
But I've only been there 3 times, not many times.
So how do you like it there?
It's nice. I like the food.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
I like the drink as well. The beer is good.
Okay, what food? What was your favorite?
Oh well,
Spot.
it's just all the breads they have. The breads and the.
Oh, that's pretty true. The Germans have the best bread in this world.
Hey,
Yes.
I hope the French ain't listening.
Oh no.
We are the only ones having more than 100 plus different pieces or different types of bread.
All right. Okay. Now I don't want to get too political. So what happened to UK? Because I'm from the UK, right? I've lived all my life in the UK. From Wales, actually, Wales, part of UK. They've exited Europe, Brexit.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately, it wasn't. Just quick, a couple of minutes. What's your thoughts on that? Is there a good thing to do or a bad thing to do?
I think people-wise, it wasn't a good idea, to be honest. It makes everything more stressy. I mean, if you have recently watched the news, you can see that the UK is lacking a lot of lorry drivers. They are lacking a lot of different things.
In terms of trade, and of course, you're into your computers and cases and shipment, things like that. How has it affected that side of the business? Is it shipping?
That's stressful, pretty stressful.
Yeah.
When you ship something over, you have to do triple and
Customs and taxes and
10 different papers, and in the end, they are still messing up, the receiver. They're still charging them, even though you declare it as sample of no commercial value, only for testing.
Yeah.
And this is giving a big headache to all of us.
Right. So
Senders wise and receiving wise.
Yeah. So you'd be better off just to work with people within Europe, ex kind of UK, right? So is it easier?
No. You still keep on supplying them with something, because why should you? Even though the government decided to Brexit, that doesn't mean that you have to punish the people there.
That's true. It's like something similar to how people in the US and Canada operate, right?
Yes.
It's if you buy in US, you still have to pay taxes when it goes across the border.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
But I think what Tony is saying is that you don't abandon your community no matter what situation that they're in. I mean, the UK made that decision, but our UK media and our friends over there did not make that decision, right? They should not be punished for that. He's right. They're still his community, and they still have Tony's back after or before. It doesn't matter, right?
Yeah.
Because they're friends, right?
That's true.
We are, company-wise, we are really trying to do as much as we can to support them with any kind of supply. It doesn't matter. Also, after sales service is also something that we still provide.
Yeah.
I mean, shipping wise, it's not our fault. They increased the pricing since they left the EU. But as a matter of fact, we are really doing all that we can to support them with any request.
Yeah.
And this is just basic customer service. I mean, if a company chooses, and I'm sure that there's some out there, just because of things that they can't control, to just abandon the entire market, that's a really, and pardon my French, it's a really shitty thing to do here, guys.
It is. I mean, there's pros and cons, but I think the cons, it outweighs the pro. I mean, it's why, now you make it even more difficult for everyone, and it's just not the right thing to do, especially with inflation, cost of living, and stuff like that.
Totally agree.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people, especially their media friends.
Yeah,
a lot of big sites have gone. It's just running costs too high. It's not worth it, and they moved on to other things. And I've seen again, social media is blown up for across the globe. There's reels and shorts and stuff like that. And this is the way to go forward. We have to adapt. Adapt is what we need to do. But but that's kind of what's going on. Yeah,
true.
So, like, for a brand, for Raijintek, I know you're looking at all of the different you have lots of dashboards. You're looking at different players in the industry, different metrics that you're looking at. Which one of the new, I guess I hate using this word because we've used it 10 years ago, new media. Which one of these platforms is a place that you see the most growth in terms of brand recognition and also potentially sales for you? Like, I'm always curious as to what the industry is looking at, because I could say YouTube, I could say it's TikTok, I could say anything, but where does it hit you the most?
I think the biggest growth is in TikTok, to be honest. From my point of view, Facebook is declining also. YouTube is not really declining, but as a matter of fact, you have less and less subs, less and less viewers, unless you are not one of those biggest tech source like Linus Tech Tips, like all the others.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But TikTok, I see the biggest movement to TikTok. They are moving away from Insta. They're going towards TikTok. And in terms of sales, I cannot tell you if it will pay out in one day. To be honest, but lately they recently started also this kind of like shop from Insta directly to. I don't know the effect. I have to check it up. But I think that future-wise, for at least the next couple of months, or let's say 1 or 2 years, it's gonna be TikTok.
Okay, so because you're betting on the TikTok horse, how much are you betting on the fact that all of these global bans, specifically in the US and Canada on TikTok, are going to affect that growth?
Honestly, I have no idea at the moment.
Yeah,
I'm not really sure about it, but
it's a problem, right?
Yes,
it's a growth platform.
It is. Indeed, it is. Yeah.
So if it's not TikTok, do you think it's enough that Instagram now offers direct shopping?
No.
It's not going to help, right?
They still need other platforms, right?
Yeah. You still need competition because that's all owned by Mark Zuckerberg, right? It's one guy.
True.
Right?
I mean, I've been talking to a couple of those Instagram media.
Yeah.
And a whole bunch of them are completely complaining about algorithms.
Yes.
That they don't work like they used to be. They change them from time to time, and which is really killing their visibility.
Heard. Totally heard.
You're at the mercy of those platforms. If they change your algorithms, you're screwed, basically.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why now people have multiple sources of revenue, whether it be YouTube, whether it be Facebook, and Twitch.
Yes.
Twitch is still there. People said it's going to decline, but no, because now people doing streaming as well and stuff like that. It's a way from written to kind of more content, video content more, right? And talking about that, what about the stuff that you do, as in terms of the products that you provide? Are they aimed at certain markets like gamers or modders, or where do you see the biggest growth in terms of your products?
The biggest growth I foresee is actually currently around the gaming scene, to be honest. Yeah. Because, I mean, streamers, okay, fine. But whoever is gaming is also streaming on some level, standard users. You also have them. I mean, the market is dynamic. It always changes anyways, because who's going out of gaming, becoming grown up, you know, those people most probably have some kids.
Yeah. I know a guy from Belgium. I probably know him. Blaze, a streamer. He plays Rocket League and other games, CS and stuff like that. He's got kids. He's got 2 kids, and he does regular streaming, but it's not his main income. Right? He doesn't live off streaming from Twitch. He gets endorsements from like local companies, you know, for, you know, like Stephen there with the Canadian Tires. In Belgium, you'll probably have some local companies supporting him. And he's getting sponsored from one of the football teams as well. Not huge, but again, it's something. So you need to diversify, not just to rely on Twitch. You need to rely on other things, other platforms and other forms of sponsorship or you know, that kind of stuff. And like you said, gamers are one market, and then I see you do a lot of modding, right? For modders, because you got the water cooling, you got the AIOs, the power supplies, the cases, everything is like designed also for the modder, which again, the modding community is so niche, but yet so loyal and so...
You think so?
I think so.
I don't think it's that
don't
niche.
think so?
No.
It's not niche?
No.
It
just changes.
It all changes.
I mean, 20 years ago, you remember when I was working for Cooler Master, it was really modding. That modding meant that you put some light in your computer.
He knows about that.
That was 20 years ago. Now modding is on a completely different level. That's a completely different level.
Yeah, it is.
Back in the days, like I said, it was really just put some LED stripes, put
Go fast stripes,
neon tubes or whatsoever in there, you know.
Yeah.
Just to make it more shiny. It completely changed.
Yeah.
It completely changed.
Yeah, you remember when it was? Remember when modding was just folding your floppy drive cables? That was modding.
Folded it, and those cable ties, and you know that, yes. And what do you call it? Neon reactive cables.
Stuff. Cold cathode.
Wow, that's
so
good.
dating ourselves.
So I remember. So Cooler Master, and then wasn't it another company that you were with?
We founded Xigmatek.
Xigmatek. Yeah, I remember that, because the reason why I remember Xigmatek is they were the first, or one of the first, to make modular cabled power supplies. I remember that, and they were one of the first ones with 1,200 watt power supplies, and that's like 20 years ago now.
I have to correct you. It was actually Thermatec before us, and if I'm not mistaken, even Cooler Master had it before us.
But they wasn't on the market, right?
No, they were.
They were?
Yeah.
Because the one that you gave me was like, whoa. Like, wow, I hadn't seen one of these before.
Yeah, it was one of the first with 1K plus watts. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, the first one.
But as a matter of fact, others had it before us, but not with that wattage.
That wattage is what I thought. Whoa, the big one.
You know what? I do believe that I have a 1,000 watt Cooler Master power supply that was modular right out of the box. It was the year they launched it, and it was with my Cosmos.
The Cosmos. That was a great product. To be honest, the Cosmos, I still love it.
Yeah, I have. My last Cosmos was the Cosmos 2. It's a beast.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm going to do with it though. It's just sitting under a desk. It has one of those G1 killer motherboards from Gigabyte, the ones that actually need a case that big, the XL ATX.
Really nice one.
Yeah. So cases wise, is that the main kind of business in terms of revenue coming through? Do you see other products that are growing?
The DIY cooling is growing a lot due to the fact that the new CPUs, they draw a lot of power. As well as the new GPUs. I mean, if you take, considering the high-end versions, you know, like the 39K, the 7950X, D3 by AMD, NVIDIA, AMD GPUs, they are drawing all. I mean, if you check the new PCI standards, why do you have a cable with 600 watts plus? Consider that.
It melt the graphics card. Melt it. Yeah, well, your power supplies, I remember those big 1,000 watt ones, right?
Yeah.
They're huge, right? Back in the day. Now they're getting smaller and smaller.
Technology is changing. Yes. Better capacitors, better everything, yes.
Miniaturized.
Yes.
Now, this is a question I asked our Cougar friend Otto. Was it Cougar or was it
Cougar.
Straycom?
Straycom.
Yeah, because Straycom builds the really small systems, right? Really tiny, really the smallest possible power supplies they can possibly fit in there. And we know that in the consumer electronics space, gallium nitride has been something that it was been added to all of the charging bricks so that they can be shrunk to 1/10 the size. When are we going to see that type of technology in computer power supplies so that we can reclaim that huge space? Is that ever going to happen? Because I have a $49 gallium nitride charger. Came from Amazon, of course.
Okay.
All right. And it's 120 watts.
That's not enough, is it?
It's enough to power my gaming laptop.
Okay.
So given that it's this big.
Okay, but that's a different story. You're not
Yeah.
using standard GPUs and CPUs there. That's all mobile or ULV,
Or
ultra low
low
voltage.
Right,
That's,
right.
I mean, 120 watts, that's not even enough for considering CPU. Back in the time, you remember the Q66 by Intel?
Yeah.
That little CPU was already 125 watts out of the box. With overclocking, it went almost up to 200. And that was a quad core.
So what is the PC industry's gallium nitride? What is that stepping stone to getting smaller? Because I do remember 1 year, and this is like during the Colin Bricks era of Gigabyte, that he showed off, not him specifically, but they had a power supply division, and this guy was so proud. He showed off this 1,000 watt power supply.
Yeah.
He opened it up. There were no capacitors. It was just a board.
Oh, like a PCB board.
Yeah, it looked like it was solid state. So
Solid state. Or something like.
it was just
What?
flat.
Really?
It was just flat. I'm like, where's the rest of it?
But that's like a prototype which probably costs
I
like
think so
thousands.
too.
Yeah, so
I think so too. But
was that too soon? Was that
I don't even think it's workable, to be honest.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Whatever power you're drawing from the connector, you know, you need to dissipate as well. And just a flat thing will not be workable. Maybe most probably for 1 or 2 seconds. That's it.
I understand because on the overclocking scene, you need a 12 volt stable line with a high ampage.
Okay.
The gallium nitride doesn't give you high ampage.
Okay.
So that's probably why, right?
So do you think we will have a gallium nitride moment for power supplies? Is that technology kind of on the horizon? Or
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet. I mean, like I said, you need to understand whatever you. I mean, why do you have a 1K watt power supply? Why? The CPU nowadays, it's drawing like 200, 250,
The graphics
300
card,
watts.
another 3.
The GPU, another 300, 350, up to 490 watts. If you check, for example, Igor's lab, you have all the tables there. Just check it. Have you ever touched a bulb with 100 watts?
It's
Have
hot.
you ever touched it?
It's hot.
It's freaking
That's
hot.
why. That's
It's
why I
freaking
have
hot.
LED bulbs
but
now because they
even
hurt.
even those
They
6
run hot
watts,
too.
They get hot too.
Yeah.
So now imagine 600 watts. How are you going to dissipate this with one flat thing? It's impossible. FSP tried to use water
FSP?
cooling in
Yeah.
there. It makes no sense.
Oh, you don't want water in your power supply. Even
Makes
if
no
it's
sense. So I mean,
So we'll never see it. At least not right now.
At the moment, not.
Okay.
Technically,
you can ask Elon Musk to come up with something because he's an alien, so he might have some solutions.
Interesting. Yes. We'll just say it can be done. You guys do.
I'll give him a call.
Yeah.
Give Elon a call. Man.
Yes.
He'll sort it out. He'll ask his alien friends, and then he'll come up with something.
I'll call Bill.
Bill, I'm not sure about Bill.
Probably Bill Nye because he's the engineer.
Okay, awesome.
But yeah, no, it was just an interesting question because we always monopolize that one spot in any computer case. It's just this beast, this thing in the back. How can we reclaim that space? Is there any way that we could do it? And
Only with external power supplies. That's the
That's
point.
the only way, right?
external. Yeah, external. Laptops have external power
Yeah.
supplies. I've
No,
seen.
there are the other ones. What are they called?
Like they're not chargers, right?
But it's more industrial. You know, it's more industrial. So I'm not too into
like a power
it,
generator type of, you know.
No. They're not the SFX is the very small one. There's the other
it's-
one. It's called.
It's like external power supplies. Is it a junior?
FSX.
Is it SFF?
FSX. I think it's FSX.
Oh, God.
They have some with 350, 400, 500 watts.
Oh, I've seen those. Oh, yeah. I've seen
Yeah,
those.
yeah,
I've seen those ones.
okay.
Yeah, 300, 400. Yeah, those ones.
Those are pretty small,
Small,
to be honest.
small, yeah.
And you can power up a complete computer with it.
Yeah, they're tiny. And like I said, you reclaim that space.
Yeah.
The only way they can do that is miniaturize it. That's it. But you're still drawing that power. You still need that thing to go into your motherboard and that kind of stuff. So it's...
As well as if the smaller the volume of the chassis of this power supply, the more you have to dissipate the heat inside. I mean, you need to get rid of it somehow. So you need to have at least a chimney effect or a very good airflow inside.
Yeah, Stephen, the only way they can do that is when Intel and AMD produce a RISC processor, not a CISC processor. For those guys who don't know, CISC processors are complex instructions, and for the RISC is reduced instructions. And what you'll find is a lot of the mobiles, tablets are using RISC technology. Therefore, your batteries run a
you
lower.
still remember this?
Yeah, I remember this. Because I'm an old school.
Wow.
Yeah. So lower voltage runs on RISC, higher voltages run on CISC processors. So
And that's why all the M1 processors from Apple, the M1 Silicon, M2 Silicon, that's all on RISC instruction sets.
That's right.
Using Qualcomm patents.
ARM.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every Apple chip that's produced, and Samsung as well, or any, uses RISC technology and all that kind of stuff, uses ARM patents, and they just collect the license
Yeah.
fees.
In England, right?
No
England,
real-
yeah.
yeah.
They're going to
No
float
real
soon.
hyper-threading.
Oh, yeah, no hyper-thread. Yeah, of course. That's, yeah.
Now, when we bring up the old things,
That's true. Clock it up.
Yeah.
Increase the voltage. You can't do that on an M1 or whatever
True.
chip.
So, well, that's the funny thing is that they're when they went from the phone to the MacBook, it's the same chip. So they just put a bigger heatsink on it.
Yeah.
They clock it up.
Or more battery.
No,
more battery.
no heating at all.
It's battery, extra
It's the
battery. no?
chassis.
It's the shell.
It's the
shell.
shell.
is
the shell.
Yeah.
It's the chassis.
Yeah.
There you go.
I still made. I know what you're saying. The shell is the chassis.
Yes.
This phone is a smaller heatsink. This chassis is a bigger heatsink.
True.
And then the Mac Pro will be an even bigger heatsink.
The cheese grater.
The cheese grater.
Oh, wow. So any other new innovative kind of products or ideas that Raijintek will have the next year coming? Or Q3, Q4?
We have some in the pedo, but it's under NDA, and I'm
Right.
afraid I cannot release any info at the moment. I'm sorry for that.
No problem.
No.
Okay. Well, let's get around that. What are in the next 5 years? What do you see as the trend? Big picture products that are coming to the forefront. What do you see that's going to change?
Yeah, what do you think is going to change? What new stuff?
Not getting specific because that kind of gets you into trouble. But moving forward, let's just say 5 years down the line, you were right.
Well, open chassis was a big thing for the last couple of years. Everybody's moving on to open chassis. You see that now, right? Open chassis aside, what else can we see? Are we going to see built-in kind of like coolers with, rather than buying a separate cooler, maybe have an integrated cooler somehow? I don't know. Maybe.
Are we going to
No
see?
comment.
Are we going to see efficiency being a focus on CPU design and GPU design? Maybe we don't get the toaster GPU. Are they going to get bigger? Are they going to get smaller?
Oh, they're huge now. It's
too big.
ridiculous.
Actually, they're not. Actually, they're not. The PCB is smaller.
Oh, yeah.
But the heatsinks increased a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not a fortune teller.
Yeah.
But I think that we will see in the future reduction of power drawing versus efficiency. I think that's the deal to go for.
Okay.
If we reach that level, I think that we can, decline the sizes, the volumes of the chassis, and make even nicer stuff.
Okay. So
Yeah.
it's kind of like a history lesson where we used to have computers that took up an entire floor of a building.
No.
And now the phone in my pocket, your pocket, my pocket
It's powerful.
have more computing power than the entire Reagan administration,
Back in the day.
right? Back in the day.
Yeah, that's completely true. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fun. That's fun to look forward to, right? So a tiny little RTX 4090 is about this big.
That big, yeah. In the palm of your hand.
In the palm of my hand is 4090.
All right. And interestingly, I want to talk quickly about AI. How has AI affected Raijintek? Anything? It hasn't no effect? Not at all?
at all.
Okay.
Or better yet,
I think it's more an NVIDIA thing. to be honest, because they're using the computing power of the VGA
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
to
right.
run it. You
True,
know?
true.
I mean, for cases, power supply and cooling, it makes no sense because we don't provide any computing power. We provide the cooling.
Right.
So does that just means was Jensen really on stage at the presentation, or was that just an AI?
AI
Maybe
virtual.
he's at home in his kitchen
Who
cooking.
knows? Who knows?
Maybe that's not really his leather jacket.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows?
That wasn't him. That wasn't him. All right. So any more last questions, Stephen?
Yeah, well, we know that AI, your opinion is that it's not touching anything on there, and that's probably true moving forward. AI is kind of a weird duck right now that's finding its niche. But what about cloud gaming? Because we've got Xbox Game Pass, we've got Luna. We know that Stadia took a dive really fast, but we've got platforms including NVIDIA's GeForce Now. How is that going to affect this industry? Are they going to complement each other, or are they going to cause one to die because all the computing is done on the other side?
Well, nothing on the cases, right?
Yeah.
Honestly speaking, the last time I've been gaming was on Super Nintendo.
Hey, it's a good platform. Don't knock it. It's a fantastic
16
platform.
is it 16-bit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah,
yes, it
16-bit.
was. Yes, it was.
And,
Yeah.
before that was the 8-bit.
Yes.
version.
Yes.
The
That
blocky
was the
graphics.
standard Nintendo. Yes.
Yeah, but 16-bit
yes,
was a big jump.
It was a huge jump up.
And Street Fighter, man. That's the
Yeah,
game.
that was my favorite game.
That was the game.
And Mortal Kombat later.
Yeah.
He's an old school gamer.
Yes,
Tell you
I
what. You can ask him about any old school games. You love it. Shinobi and all that kind of
I
stuff.
had TurboGrafx 16.
I went
You
through
were the
all
rich kid.
Tetris.
You were the rich kid with a turbo.
Hey, I worked in the kitchen and I earned money. Every single week I saved up for that.
But the most expensive was the Neo Geo. That was expensive.
Oh, God, yeah.
Yeah, I couldn't afford that. No way. I just had the Nintendo. That was it.
I knew no one that owned it because it was so expensive.
It was so expensive. The entire board was basically the cartridge. And
Yes.
that cost like $300.
Jesus.
Yeah, true.
Jesus.
All right. I think that's all the time we have for. So thank you guys for joining our podcast show with Tony. Tony, thank you for joining our session here.
You're welcome.
So,
Thank you as well.
Yeah. So Stephen, tell us our viewers the socials. 'Cause
Yeah, we actually claimed our social media channels finally. We decided that enough was enough. We should probably promote ourselves. So if you want to find us, you can find us on Instagram at our podcast show, or also on Twitter at our podcast show, at least until Mark Zuckerberg and Mr. Elon Musk start charging us.
Yeah.
We're not paying.
We're not paying.
Swear to
Internet is
God, we're
free,
not paying.
right? Yeah, it's free.
True.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you next week. Every Wednesday, new podcast. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye-bye.